You're watching The Ugly Inside. Subscribe below.
So, breaking news today then, the England national team squad has been announced and a few surprise inclusions. And for me, it's an overdue call-up for Nathan Redmond and James Ward-Prowse. And Clive is here with me to give us the reaction as well to those call-ups. So, Clive, what are your thoughts to the reaction to Nathan Redmond and James Ward-Prowse for their first senior call-up?
Oh, I'm delighted for them personally. I think it's a great boost for the club and the youngsters. All the youngsters in that academy will be thinking, "I want to emulate these guys," and I think it's very, very good for Southampton. We've got a long history of it, but to get in the full squad is excellent, and it's the next step up for the guys. Got me reservations a little bit because it's like Nathan's just hit a bit of form recently, and it's almost like he's had about 4 or 5 good games, and all of a sudden he's in the England team. How does that work out? He's under 23 Player of the Year, and yet after the season we've had people on here absolutely slaughtering Nathan, and it's been quite a call for him not to be in the team. And yet here we are about a month later and he's in the England team. And to be fair to him, he is playing really, really well. He's the player now that we thought we were all excited about when he signed from Norwich, I think.
Actually, I think you've got the nail on the head there, really. First of all, it's natural progression, and it's fully deserved. And, you could argue the fact that there are quite a few injuries now in the senior setup for England. Obviously, like sort of Rooney, you've got a few other players that are omitted from this squad. Harry Kane, opportunities that have come up. And for me, I think James Ward-Prowse has been overdue for a long time. He's captained the side for now nearly 2 years in the under-21s. And, he's got 28 caps himself. Nathan Redmond's got 34. And I think this could be a great opportunity for them to excel their career as well.
Yeah, and James, I'm really delighted for him. Again, he splits opinions with the Saints fans, doesn't he? A lot of people were calling for him to be dropped and saying that he was rubbish and all he could do was take free kicks and corners. That lad can do a lot more than that. What he does do, he protects the defence really well. He's played in different roles now. And I think this is a role that, and the whole team look a lot happier with Saints, don't they? But just recently, he's really, really improved and come on as a player. He probably needed to because there was a lot of early promise and a lot of people were saying, well, nothing's really happening here. But you just have to be patient with these lads. And I think in the future, what we're going to see from James Ward-Prowse is a lot more goals. I think as he gets goals, if you play him in a certain role, he could actually become a Lampard because he knows how to pass, fantastic delivery from free kicks. What he's got to add to his game is scoring goals. We need that 5 to 10 goals from midfield. And James, it would be fantastic if he could do that on a regular basis because that would give so much more to the forward line.
Yeah, and credit to him recently. Like I said, his form has picked up and he's going beyond the things that we kind of rely on him for, dead ball specialist. But, into the England team, Gareth Southgate knows those players well. Redmond and Ward-Prowse especially, they've played under Southgate for nearly 4 years.
Yeah, it's a natural progression. And like he says, he wants to give them their chance. They're going to go to the tournament in the summer, but he wants to give them their chance and their experience with the full squad. And I think that's a very sensible move. I'm delighted for James Ward-Prowse on a personal level because I think he's got a fantastic attitude. He's a leader amongst the youngsters, shall we say. And I think that, again, that gives the academy and the lads in the academy a real boost to go and emulate James, and let's see some more England players in the future.
And that brings me on to my next point. Really, 8 of the players that have been called up at some point have either gone through the academy or played for Southampton. 4 of those obviously being current players, Forster and Bertrand in the current squad. But you've got the likes of Lallana, Shaw, Oxlade-Chamberlain amongst that squad now as well.
Yeah, and I see Theo narrowly missed out. So the message is, don't sell them, Saints. Let's keep them. Interesting, Nick's article this week about the finances of the club and having a go at fans that were having a pop about us not spending. Well, I'm sorry, Nick, but we still haven't spent anywhere near enough money, in my book, to show ambition. But that's another story. We're talking about England tonight, and me and Nick can have a good little pop at each other over a pint at the weekend.
I look forward to that. And that brings me on to my final point then, as Sam McQueen and Jack Stevens also being called up to the England under-21 team. This is Sam McQueen's first call up to Aidy Boothroyd's team. And Jack Stevens, he scored down at St Mary's against Italy last year as well.
Yeah, it's great for those two guys, especially Sam. I mean, he's been out slightly on the fringe of the team lately, but he did ever so well earlier in the season when Matthew Target and Bertrand were injured. He really did do a great shift in there at left back, and he's a strong lad, and I think he can play in other positions, so he's versatile. And Jack Stevens, I think, he's shown a lot in the last few games. He's shown a level of maturity that, okay, well, he is 23, but for a centre half, the way that he strolls out with the ball is very impressive. I think he's going to be an excellent player. Now, whether he gets his chance with Saints in the next year or two is down to what we do with Van Dijk and Caracas and Caceres. But what he has done is he proved he can do it at the top level. He's been out on loan, which has been good for him. Places like Swindon and Middlesbrough and I don't know where else he went, but he's developed as a player. Not entirely sure this is the best way forward for youngsters going out on loan. I'd rather see him develop within our own club, but it does give them that experience, and it's so hard for youngsters to get in Premier League teams. Look across the Premier League. How many English youngsters are there currently in Premiership positions? Very few. Very few. So these two guys have had experience this season. They've done well, and they deserve their place.
Well, one thing's for sure, I'm absolutely delighted for James Ward-Prowse and Nathan Redmond. Like I said, he's picked up his form, and delighted for Sam McQueen and Jack Stevens. But that wraps it up then for the England reaction for the recent call-ups. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Clive, thanks for joining me, mate.
Thanks, Freddie. All the best.
And as always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more.